Hey guys, my name is Mavi and I've spent the last 14 years in the plastic surgery and beauty industry, working alongside top board certified plastic surgeons.
Now I'm an independent patient coordinator who doesn't work for any surgeon. This means I have unbiased reviews for hundreds of doctors and I can help you achieve the look of your dreams, whether that's a supernatural or a video vixen. I use my professional and personal plastic surgery experience to help you look and feel your best.
Join in on the fun as I talk to plastic surgery experts, friends, and real life patients about all things plastic surgery. Should be fun. Hey guys, do I have the episode for you today? I always get the question of, is it safe to travel for plastic surgery? So this episode is all about traveling during surgery, and we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of traveling for surgery. So for today's conversation, we're going to pretend that we're talking about someone who is looking for a mommy makeover, because most of my girls are looking for mommy makeovers. Something with the tummy, something with some lipo, maybe some breast work, usually here in the torso, sometimes BBL. Let's start with things to consider when you're going to travel for plastic surgery. One of the first things that you should consider when you're thinking about traveling for surgery is about your recovery. You want to plan your recovery to a T. What do I mean by that? I mean, do not travel to another city, state, country, and think that you're just going to be able to stay in a random hotel and be by yourself and take care of yourself for 4 days and then get on a plane and come home. No, that is not happening. It probably is happening, but in my journey to help you have safe plastic surgery, I do not recommend traveling by yourself and being by yourself during your surgery. Most surgeons will not operate on you if you are planning to be alone. They will say, nope, I will not operate on you. You have to have somebody stay with you the first night. You have to have somebody take care of you. You can't do it alone, and they'll cancel your surgery. I know y'all know that I've been working with pop recovery systems, and I've experienced through pop recovery systems information that I'm about to tell y'all. Women are lying about who's going to take care of them after the surgery just so the surgeon does the surgery, and then they end up finding out that actually they're by themselves. I think I've said this in a previous episode. You think you're going to outsmart us in the office, us trying to get you safe surgery by lying about, sometimes you lie about your health history, sometimes you lie about who's going to take care of you, but none of that is going to benefit you, because the person that you're hurting by lying to the staff at the office about your recovery plans is you. You're the one that's going to get hurt. You're the one that is doing things that's not right. So I'm going to get off my little stern rant, but it's very upsetting when we make these rules and for a reason, like don't travel by yourself, don't have surgery by yourself, don't be by yourself, for a reason. It's not because we're just rude and don't want you to have surgery. It's because there's actual precautions and things that that person is going to be doing for you to take care of you, to make sure that you recover safely. So one of the things to consider is who's going to take care of you. How long do you have to be in the city that you're going to be having surgery in? How often do you have to come back? And kind of what the plan is for the recovery. Mommy makeovers, where we're talking about tummy tuck, most of the time, and this is from, I've talked to hundreds of surgeons about their preferences for after surgery. And the range is always, I'm not going to lie to y'all and tell you that other countries where they have high volume surgery centers and volume, those are the guys giving me the shortest amount of dates. Oh, I only want them here 6 days, 5 days, 4 days, 7 days. That's not my recommendation. My recommendation is you better stay in the city that you're going to be having surgery in for at least 10 days before you travel after a tummy tuck. Let me tell you why. Imagine yourself walking through the airport hunched over. Even if you're going to get a wheelchair, which you should get wheelchair access. But even if you get a wheelchair, the pain that you're in that first week is not nearly the same as the pain that you're in week 2. So it's easier for you to travel through an airport. You won't be as hunched over. You might not even have drains. You might be feeling back to normal. You'll be in a compression garment in the second week, closer to 10 days, 10 to 14 days. If you're still in that first week and you're planning to travel through the airport, I hate to tell you, but you're going to have a really hard time. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to have a hard time. I want you to have a good, easy recovery. And that's not going to work if you leave your city where you have your surgery too soon. And I see this so often, and it blows my mind. I've had girls tell me, this was when I was a patient coordinator. I had a girl tell me, oh, well, I have another place that I'm going to go get a quote from. And it's a place in Mexico, and they actually fly you back the next day so that you can recover at home. And I was like, what? What do you mean they fly you back the next day so that you can recover at home? What? You're getting on a plane the next day after a tummy tuck? Girl, please, if you don't book with me, don't book with them. Go somewhere else. That place is not safe. And that lady told me, well, my friend so-and-so did it, and my friend this friend did it. And that's why I tell y'all, just because somebody else is doing it doesn't mean that it's safe. Doesn't mean that you should do it. Fortunately, that lady decided to come with us and have surgery with me. Well, not with me, but with my surgeons. And she looked amazing. And I found out later on that one of her friends that had gone with that service had a very bad experience and ended up with a DVT. So y'all know a DVT is a blood clot in her calf. Luckily, they found it. But those types of things we can prevent by not traveling so soon after surgery, by wearing compression stockings, by wearing those their boots that squeeze your leg, your calf, to pump your blood. And a lot of surgeons are actually handing those out during your recovery. This is one of those things that when I tell you guys when you're looking for your surgeon and what kind of things they give you, like if they're giving you a goodie bag, that's awesome. A lot of places aren't giving nothing. So the ones that are giving goodie bags and they give you your garments and they do give you all of your things, those are some great places. Okay, so for a mommy makeover for a tummy, I'm going to need you to stay for at least 10 to 15 days in the city that you're having your surgery. I know you don't like that. I know you probably don't like that. Why? Because you have to be away from your kids. You have to be away from work. You have to be in a foreign place. You have to pay for where you're going to stay and all of that. If all of that, when you total it up, is more expensive than having surgery in your city, it might be smarter to have surgery in your city. There's over 11,000 very qualified, amazing plastic surgeons in the country for us in the US and worldwide. There's surgeons everywhere and they're good. They're talented. Y'all know plastic surgery is an art. So we can always find you a surgeon in your city. Call me, girl. I got you. Okay, so if you're going somewhere for face, I would say at least stay for 3 to 5 days for recovery. If it's only lipo, I'm still going to say 3 to 5 days, even if it's only lipo. So here's one of the things that I need you to consider when you're planning for your mommy makeover recovery in a different city. Where are you going to stay? Where are you going to stay? Who's going to take care of you? So here are your options of where you can stay. Number 1, you can get a hotel. A lot of surgeons who have a lot of traveling patients build relationships with hotels around their surgery centers, and they get special pricing. So hotel is always an option. What are the cons and pros of a hotel? Cons are you're in a building where you're going to have to go through the parking lot. I mean, driveway, lobby, hallway to get to your room. You most likely will not have a kitchen in the hotel unless it's one that comes with the kitchenette. So if it comes with the kitchenette, good job. High five. I'm glad. The other option is staying in an Airbnb. In an Airbnb, most of the time, you can look for a home where you're not going to have to walk through a lobby, and you can walk straight from the car inside to the house and stay in an Airbnb. What are the pros and cons of an Airbnb? The pros would be you can a lot of times find recovery places or Airbnbs that have medical supplies like walkers, different types of things to help people who have had a surgery before. There's Airbnbs that are built for that. One of the cons would be, of course, that you are renting somebody else's house. You're going to have to do your own cleaning of that house, disinfecting all of the doorknobs, making sure that when you are recovering there, it's really clean. In any of the options, other than the last one, you're going to have to find a way to cook or feed yourself. I can't tell you guys how many women I've encountered who are like, oh yeah, I'm going to be eating protein bars and drinking protein shakes and ordering DoorDash. No, you're not. Wrong. Please don't think that you can recover just living off of DoorDash, because you're going to find it gets expensive pretty quickly when you're trying to eat healthy. Low salt, low sugar, high protein, low carb. Like, we're trying to be healthy with our diet during recovery. So anywhere you go, you're going to have to look for food, which in the next topic, that's the next topic of what are you going to eat? You could also look through VRBO, which is another like Airbnb website. And lastly, you can find a recovery house. So recovery houses we've talked about them on the show before. They're popping up across the country, but there's still a lot of gray area about regulation. Like, what are the real rules of having a recovery house? How can I make it safe? You guys heard Whitney in a few episodes ago where we talked about recovery houses in Miami and the scams that were happening and all of that. So recovery houses are kind of a new to the cosmetic surgery in the US process. In other countries, like in Colombia, recovery house is pretty much, you already know you're going to stay in a recovery house. And in Colombia and different parts of Central America, there are more options as far as different recovery houses. Here in the US, since it's still new, there's not that many. You might not find one in the city that you're staying, in the city that you're having surgery in. But if you are looking like in Houston, Dallas, Beverly Hills, there's recovery houses for you. Chicago, there's recovery houses. So now let's talk about food. What are you going to be eating during your recovery? I know you can't live off of just fruits and protein bars. You need actual food. So that person that's going to be coming with you, that's what's going to be their job. To feed you, to take care of you, to help you get in and out of bed, to keep you company, keep you out from going crazy during your recovery, which y'all know it's an emotional roller coaster. And then, so lastly, before I end this episode, I'm going to make this a little bit short. The last thing you need to consider is who's going to take care of you. Who's going to take care of you during your recovery? When you're traveling for surgery and you're traveling by yourself, here's what you can do. You can hire a nurse to take care of you for those first 24 to 48 hours. And what she's going to do is help you get comfortable, take your vitals, feed you, help you get in and out of bed, keep an eye on your wounds, make sure everything's healing right, and pretty much keep tabs on you. Make sure that you're doing good, and if anything is suspect, that nurse will reach out to your surgeon. So when you're traveling for surgery, the 3 things to consider are where you're going to stay, who's going to take care of you, and what are you going to eat. 3 really, really important topics when you're planning your recovery and you're traveling for surgery. Medical tourism, they call it. So that's today's episode. And if you guys had any questions, send me a DM. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
So if you're listening to this episode and you're listening to the Big Butts No Lies podcast, you might be on your surgery journey. And if you are, and you don't know what to do, you don't know where to start, you've come to the right place. I am so excited to do one-on-ones with you guys. I've realized as I do them more and more just how valuable they are to you, not only because you get my expert opinion, I get to guide you towards plastic surgeons that we know are going to do a good job and keep you safe. Besides all that, I get to talk to you about things that might not even be on your radar, things that you don't even know are possible. But since we get so in depth with our conversations and I really get to know what your dreams are and what you're really looking for with your body, I can tailor my recommendations to the surgeons that I know can help you achieve that. And taking the guesswork out of who to go to is invaluable. So schedule your one-on-one phone call with me. You can go to my website, go to the quick links, submit your information, let me get to know you, let me see how can we help you. You can get your own team. You guys, I have been working so hard behind the scenes to come up with a perfect way for you to have your plastic surgery and not only come out with beautiful incisions, but also feeling beautiful on the inside. So book your call with me and take the guesswork out of your plastic surgery journey. And don't forget, new episodes every Monday. I'll see you then.